There you go.
I would give you Charles.
I think we have some Confederates this time who's going to try to join us. You going to join us?
If y'all want me to.
We fired each other. Ready! Ready!
Wow, that was.
I felt that on my knee. Oh my God.
You're right. I don't know what it's going to be.
I did.
Everybody hang around here for a few minutes. We've got a few more for you to check out. We're going to start with some of the older weapons that were used back during the 18th century. Of course, a lot of folks didn't know, or a lot of you may not know, that we actually had British soldiers in Tennessee back during the 1760 time period. So right now, what we'd like to show you is an actual replica of a wall gun that was used during that time period. I'm going to turn it over to the park manager of Fort Loudon State Park in Von Horn, Tennessee. So take a listen right now and see how the wall gun is loaded and fired.
The gun we have here is we just sold a Rampart piece or a wall gun. It's 96 caliber, weighs about 47 pounds. You notice it has a swivel on it. Typically it would be mounted on a wall of a fortification or on the rail of the ship. And it can fire a solid shot, but typically it fires more of a cartridge shot or canister shot. So shooting lots of small projectiles in a large shotgun. It is smooth bore, so there's no rifling in there or interfere with it. The gun fires 500 grains of powder, so to give you a basic example of that, this is the size cartridge and the amount of powder we normally fire out of the Brown Bess musket, which is the large musket we carry. This is the cartridge for this gun. So it's about 5 times, more than 5 times the amount of powder we're firing per single round. The gun could be operated in a two-man team like you can see here. George Washington had 2 of these guns used in the Battle of Fort Necessity, and during test firing, they were able to hit a man-sized target at 200 yards. So it was a fairly effective weapon, and you definitely don't want to kill.
Don't you mean to grow a little longer?
Carrying it, yeah, sure.
All right, nice shot. Very good. Now, our next celebrity right now. A lot of people know him as Davy, but that's actually not his correct name. His correct name is David. Walt Disney gave him that name, Davy, but he preferred actually David Crockett. So he's going to show you how to shoot old Betsy.
Got the load powder here in the pan. Good old Betsy primed up. have a load and shoot that old bar.
Thank you, David. Good shot. Good shot. All right, let's move on up into the 1800s here in Tennessee. We had a terrible war that came through this neck of the woods 150 years ago. And Tennessee was second to Virginia in the number of battles that were fought during the Civil War. So let's see some of the weaponry of that time period right now. Boys, y'all want to come on? Now, of course, the Federals had the more modern weaponry. The South didn't have quite the funds in the industry to have the more modern weapons or anything like that. So you had a lot of these Southern men who just came to the front with blows on their back and maybe a shotgun or pistols or whatever type of weaponry that they had at home. So you're going to see more modern weapons shot here.
Yeah, that was a cheap for sure.
During the Civil War, the two most modern weapons that were carried outside of the carbines that came later in the war, the rifled musket. I say rifle because the barrel had rifling, and it was an extremely accurate weapon. The common rifled muskets carried was .577 caliber Enfield musket, product of the Royal Arms Factory in the borough, Rothsboro, Enfield. It wasn't named after its inventor, which is a common myth. It's actually named after the borough of London, in which it was manufactured. The other common weapon was the 1861 Springfield rifled musket, which was named for the Springfield Arsenal where it was first manufactured. We will demonstrate that. Turn load. Load.
Very good. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Questions? Thank you very much.
Now we're going to have a cavalryman come out. Usually he'd be up on his horse. That's the reason that he is wearing gold on his particular uniform. You had the colors of red for artillery, gold for cavalry, and blue for infantry. So we're going to see a cavalry type weapon shot at this point.
Ladies and gentlemen, unlike my compatriots who are next to me, this is an authentic. This weapon was built by Belgium in 1827. It was actually this tall. It was originally a flintlock. In 1835, the Prussian Army changed it to a percussion cap, which is now. This weapon was actually brought in to the port of Louisiana, down in New Orleans, and was actually cut down. The Confederate Army brought these in to try to help before the manufacturing of the war, before they could get the more effective weapons going. This weapon actually is a Confederate cut down. It was captured in the early part of the war and taken back home and was kept in this state about 5 years ago. This is a firing weapon. This is a 71 cal. The problem is the Confederate Army had no way of making a fighting as cavalry, I always didn't stand up to these guys like this. I would be in a kneeling position and fight as skirmishers. So now I'm going to show you how I would use this weapon against these gentlemen. And I didn't fire. Now, sorry, I got a misfire. That was common at that time. Anyway, it would have been much louder if I had the full capacity, but I didn't want to do that today. Again, this is an authentic. This is not a reproduction. Thank y'all very much.
Now we're going to show you another Civil War weapon that was used quite a bit, especially by the cavalry, things of that nature, and show you a pistol of that time period.
This weapon was carried by the cavalry quite often. They usually carried more than one pistol, of course, because the more firing power that you had, the more effective you would be on your side. Every once in a while, these things do not go off, and reloading them takes a longer period of time than it does to reload one round at a time, which means that by carrying more of these at one time, you became more effective. You didn't want to fall because it would give your enemy more of a chance of shooting at your friends or your fellow compatriots. So don't go so loaded that they can take you. Better idea is to be able to shoot at them. Sometimes these caps, they do fall off. So I'm going to fire what I can. I feel for them pigeons up there. See? This is where you run into a little trouble. You gotta wait on a second too. Hopefully you get it going right. See? Sometimes you have failure.
That was
This is where you're really in trouble, especially when the guy was right over you. And then your gun might jam. Then you gotta grab your other pistol. Our demonstration. We're all out of bullets, folks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, folks, let's go up to maybe about a little over 100 years now. Things have changed quite a bit. We're going to get into another war that a lot of Tennesseans got into. My father being one of them. But we're going to see what was going on during World War II. Come on, boys.
First thing that's going to happen is we're going to have a machine gun crew. On 1919 round. Goes in first. That's up to 19. Covers the mount once it's there. He has to secure the position. Once he's secured the position, fires a Winchester about 97 shots. While he's covering, the ammo bearer is moving up. The ammo bearer is going to put up his position.
Awesome. Thank you.
Next to the gun.
Yeah, I get it.
The ammo is ready. He's going to cover the position with his 30 caliber M1 carbine. Coming up and snatching in line. Machine gun's heavy, and it's also very important. You want as many men covering it as you can. He fires the 03 Springfield, 5-shot, old-fashioned 30-06 caliber rifle. He fires the 03 Springfield, 30-06 old-fashioned rifle. Moss Marine joins the fray with an M1 Grand. Fires considerably faster. Starting out, fires 8 shots semi-automatics. Now that the line is advanced, he's firing our machine gunner moves up wild coverage. Now that he's online, they're loading the gun. We now have a secure line with a machine gun position in it. Now the enemy is really in trouble. And that is how you leapfrog your machine gun into position. Use the entire squad. Now once he's established a base of fire with the machine gun, the squad is now free to maneuver. And that's apparently the end of our demonstration.
Box magazine fed weapon, fast upgrade, within $1 grand, most wonderful weapon. Woo-hoo!
Impressive. I could have used one of those.
That is the M2 Browning machine gun. Been in continuous use with the U.S. Army for almost 100 years. One of the most impressive weapons I've ever seen.
Everybody ready?
Go.
Hey!
I'd like to order one of those for my horse. Thank you, boys. I appreciate it so much. Folks, this concludes our demonstration of weapons of war throughout Tennessee during that time period. We appreciate you being here. We will fire, well, excuse me. We're going to fire the cannons once again. You get a little age on you and you forget things from one.